Hello everyone, I'm Harry, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to do another how to sound like video, so we're going to try and get the tones on Fluorescent Adolescent by the Arctic Monkeys. So this has some really cool tones on it. There's actually some parts that are so subtle, but it really does get that overall tone, especially for Jamie's parts. So there's obviously two guitar parts through this, Jamie's parts and Alex's parts. Jamie doing like the little lead riff and the little lead arpeggio type things, and then Alex doing the main chords throughout. So for Jamie's parts, I used this 1958 Reissue ES335 with Monty's PAF humbucking pickups, so you could use any semi-hollow Gibson style humbucker guitar for this. It's really important just to have the humbuckers, and I do believe personally that the semi-hollow nature does add a lot to the sound as well. And then for Alex's parts, I used my 1965 Reissue Jazzmaster. So the main overdrive that I'm using throughout this for all the different parts, and that's doing the whole heavy lifting of this, everything else is just kind of flavouring on top, is the Revival Drive by Origin Effects. Now this is a really great amp-in-a-box pedal. This is by far the best amp-in-a-box pedal that I've ever played. I actually recently did a demo of the Revival Drive by Origin Effects. If you'd like to see that, there'll be a link up in the cards, in the description, and pinned in the comments. So for Jamie's parts, I had it set kind of to like a Vox AC30 style tone, because I do believe that he was using the matchless heads in the Favourite Worst Nightmare era, and this pedal got us really close to that tone as well. We were just on the bridge pickup throughout. So the amp I'm using today, as usual, is my old Silverface twin reverb. We've got just a tiny little bit of reverb coming from that, and that's being recorded by the Boss Waza tube amp expander. The only other effects that I used with Jamie's parts on the main opening riff and the chords was the Supro Tremolo. Now on the original, there's a tremolo signal, but the depth on it is really, really subtle, and it just gives us that little flavour that makes it sound even more like the original. The reason I actually heard it was when he goes onto the long A sustained chord, you do hear the tremolo going, and as soon as I applied it to that opening riff, it really filled in the gaps and got us really close to that tone. There's one other pedal that we use for Jamie's parts, so for the little lead fills like it's like a modulation thing, and I do believe that they use the spinning speaker rotosphere by using Thing. So for that, I actually use the Danelectro Big Spender. Now, I've used this in a lot of my Arctic Monkeys covers, and it really, really does get as close to that original rotosphere sound. So I'm going to pull all of Jamie's parts out of the intro song isolated so you can see and hear exactly what's going on. You'll see the pedals on the screen and the settings that I use throughout as well. So when I go to the spinning speaker, I actually turn the tremolo off and we're just hearing the spinning speaker. Then for all the other parts, it's just the Revival Drive for the overdrive and then the tremolo from the Supro Trem. So now we're going to look at Alex's part. So this is a lot more straightforward. It's just one time throughout the whole thing. Again, we're getting the overdrive from the revival drive. I had it set more like a Marshall voicing, and it was set really, really clean with just a tiny bit of overdrive like we hear on the original track. And that's what we use for Alex's parts, the bridge pickup of the Jazzmaster to get that bright, jangly chord tone. So I'll pull Alex's parts out the intro song isolated so you can see and hear exactly what's going on, and you'll see the settings of the pedal on screen as well. So there we have it. That was a look at how to get the tones on Fluorescent Adolescent by the Arctic Monkeys. I was really happy with how this one turned out. It seems quite simple at first listen, but getting those tones really, really close and having the subtle effects, especially on Jamie's parts, really does get us closer. So let us know down in the comments how close you thought I got to the original song and any future How to Sound Like videos you'd like to see me do. The revival drive is, again, probably one of my new favourite overdrives. It's just incredible, and it is indispensable for this. Obviously don't own a Vox, and the big part of Jamie's sound on this was that Vox tone, and it got us really, really close. And then, of course, using it for Alex's parts to get that Marshall-y thing. So I think he used the Selma Zodiac on that. So the Marshall Plexi style voicing set really clean, got us really close as well. So again, if you'd like to see my full demo of the revival drive, there's a link up in the cards, in the description, and pinned in the comments. So if you like that How to Sound Like video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and hit the little bell notification for me as well. It really does help me out a lot, and that way you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. Other than that, go onto my channel, check out some of my playlists. I have plenty more lessons, covers, gear demos, How to Sound Like videos, and anything guitar related. As always, I've been Harry, and thanks for watching.